This topic is a therapy center for sensory processing disorder and it's a first of its kind in Kerala. Sensory processing disorder is actually a mental inability to perceive our five senses. The treatment of this disorder is by implementing more sense stimulation to patients and improving their ability to control them. Now take the concept of a sensory museum. It also stimulates each and every senses of its visitors. So what I'm trying to do is to take the sense stimulating process of a sensory museum as treatment procedure in the therapy center. My initial concept is to increase the recovery rate by creating value of architecture spaces to the treatment procedure. About 9 to 16% people in Indian context and 8 to 10% people in Kerala context is suffering from sensory processing disorder. Now, moving to the site details, site is located adjacent to the Kovalam-Kalkuttam bypass road. It's a 6.05-acre land by a non-governmental social organization Lions Bhavan. Site is easily accessible as Trivandrum Central, bus terminal and airport are in 7 km radius. Proposed site is 5 km from the Kovalam beach and 9.8 km from the Trivandrum International Airport. This is the scale drawing of the site. 8 1-meter contours are there between the lowest and highest point of the site. Micro level details of the site such as green patches, vegetation, water table, built use, setback and access and views from and to the site is given. This is the slope analysis I have done. Naming of the slope, natural drainage, built and non-buildable area, wind pattern and sensory aspects are mentioned. This is the final inference from slope analysis. Water body is located at the lowest part which is surrounded by the recreational area. Area with less slope is marked for building proposal. This is the final zoning with respect to the site analysis. Wind direction is from the west side as the sea is 15 km perpendicular from the site. The primary entry to the site is from the service road and a secondary entry is given from a 4-meter road from the southeast part of the site. A high amount of noise pollution is caused by the busy bypass road. The northeast part has the less amount of disturbances to the site. It has a residential area as nearby context. A water body is considered where all natural drainages meet. The massing of administrative block, treatment block and common spaces are shown in the zoning. Site sections before and after massing is shown in this part. In the first image, spaces suitable for building placement, recreational zone, etc. are marked. And in the second image, altered contours and built mass are shown. Moving to the case studies, first one is the Sensing Progress Center USA. It was studied to understand about spaces and therapy rooms needed for a therapy center. The second one is two sensory museums, one in Capstone and other in Goa. It was done to study about simulation of senses. The third one is the Bridgepoint Therapy Center. It was studied to understand about the inpatient rooms and related spaces. The fourth one is the Changsha Meishu Art Center in China. It was done to study about the structural detailing of curvilinear structures. In the Sensing Progress Center, the traditional way of treatment can be seen. It is zoned as a large hall with almost 80% treatment facility and balance 20% in small attached halls. The interior spaces are designed with geometrical boxes so as to increase the participation rate of patients in indoor facilities. A yoga space, gathering area and office space are given at the ground floor and a large treatment hall, its attachments and children play area are zoned in the first floor. Children play area is zoned as an enclosed space for them but is visible for the bystanders from outside. Its indoor spaces are created for three classifications of sensory processing disorders. First one is the sensory modulation disorder. It is based on sensory over-responsiveness and under-responsiveness. Second one is a sensory discrimination disorder in which patients face difficulty in perceiving information. Third one is the sensory-based motor disorder in which patients face difficulty in balance and coordination. Moving to the sensory museums, the stimulation of senses are studied. Sensistan is a night museum in which installations are used to stimulate senses, while in Capstone, sensory walls with depressions in which each containing different sense stimulations are used. For smell stimulation in Sensistan, a biofluorescent algae from eastern Goan jungles are placed in a dark room and an odor emitting installation placed at the center. In Capstone Museum, sensory walls with different kind of sense are placed in some depression made in the wall. For the touch stimulation senses then, UV walls and fluorescents are used, while in Capstone, in some frames with synthetic skins having properties like elasticity, temperature, vibration, etc. are used. For visual stimulation in Sensistan, a wall sculpture is made and the light falling above it in sequence make light and shadow play. But in Capstone, wall depressions are made having small video screens inside which stimulate perspective alterations. For oral stimulation in Sensistan, a wired sculpture is made which make different frequencies sound when touched or used. But in Capstone, a wall with many ear-shaped modules are used. The left section of the ear modules produce different frequency sounds while the right section produce natural occurring sounds. Next is the Bridgepoint Therapy Center. It was to study about the inpatient rooms and facilities. This is the typical floor plan. The rooms are located in two zones. Each end has a patient lobby. The core portion of each floor has a common gathering spot. The building has a total of 10 floors. The 10th floor has only one zone of rooms and the other end has a roof garden and a gathering area. Main access to the building is through the core part of the ground floor. Service rooms are zoned at the balance two zones. The inpatient block has a total area of 51,076 meters square with 480 patient beds. Rooms are zoned in a way that 90% of each room receives 3 hours of direct sunlight. Window to wall ratio is given 1:1. This is the explored view of the zoning. Blocks shown in grey are inpatient rooms while depicted in orange are common gathering spaces. Working of the inpatient block, distribution of rooms, indoor connections to the gathering spaces, center core spaces, services, amenities, etc. are taken as inference from the Bridgepoint Therapy Center. Next is Changsha Meishu International Arts Center. By analyzing articles related to sensory processing disorder, the patients like to move in curvilinear spaces more. They are natural forms and can improve the mental spectrum of the patients. The therapy center should be a closed space and a welcoming one. So this case study was done to study about the structural detail of curvilinear structures. By analyzing the section details, I designed the structure of paneling. L and I sections are used as spanning members. The detailing of false ceiling are also shown with panel detailing. Next is site zoning. In phase 1, I considered a strip of space near the bypass road for entry, parking and exit spots. A secondary entry is given from the 4-meter wide road on the southeast part of the site. Service vehicle circulation is minimized to improve the internal environment. The balance part of the site is considered to be a large sensory park. Now let's see what is a sensory park. It is a play area and gathering area to meet the physical, sensory and socialization needs of individuals. The effects of proper sense stimulation in a sensory park increases the nerve connections in the brain. The spaces inside a good sensory park should be organized properly but should be barriered from exterior context. People with mobility disorder should feel confidence when moving within the sensory park. Case studies done on Narara Sensory Park and Westminster Sensory Park shows that people have great intention to move within curvilinear pathways. The spaces should be divided into over and under stimulating. The elements used to stimulate each senses in a sensory park are also listed. In the second phase of zoning, admin and common areas are zoned with respect to the access roads, while the inpatient block is zoned. In the northeast areas, there is less impact from the contextual residential area to the site. Phase 3 shows the zoning of treatment blocks. Hearing or auditory block is located almost center of the site to reduce the noise disturbances from the nearby context. Visual and tactile blocks are located at the highest part of the site as there are some treatment procedures with respect to the heights. The tactile and smell blocks are connected and it's zoned near the service entry as there will be service unloading happening in the test block. Phase 4 shows the placement of admin, treatment, inpatient and common spaces. And phase 5 shows the final zoning with buildings, water bodies, recreational areas and access roads. Now let's move to the master plan. Site area is 6.05 acres. Total built-up area is 9,924.7 meters square with 10% of internal road area. Width of the internal roads is given as 6 meter wide. and pedestrian roads with a width of 2 meters. Area of water body is 1859 meter square. 60 four-wheeler parking and 20 two-wheeler parking are given. RAM ratio is 1:12 and turning radius is given as 6 meter. This is the main entry and it leads to the main porch area. From there towards the parking area. And the exit from parking is through this one-way road. A 6-meter road is given surrounding the plot. This is the admin block and adjacent to it is the common treatment area. It is the space where every sense of a person is tested and find the difficulties. Hearing block is located at almost center of the plot to avoid noise disturbances and a green buffer space is given around it. The hexagonal structures are kinetic ones covering outdoor audio installations. This is the main treatment block in which balance, movement and behavioral treatments are given. This is the canteen block. A series of indoor, semi-open and outdoor seating spaces are given. This is the service entry and unloading area of cafeteria is given here. Shared dining is a space where patients share their food items with each other, which helps to socialize and express themselves better. It is zoned between cafeteria and treatment block. This is a small water arena space where water displays and water-related plays are arranged. This is a gathering area where play equipments for children are placed at the center, surrounded by a seating area. A tensile structure is used to cover the space. This is a smell and taste block. An amphitheater and a herb garden used for smell treatment is located adjacent to it. Visual and touch senses are connected and is given at the topmost part of the site. This is the inpatient block. Visitors parking is given at the north of inpatient block. As there is no age limit, people staying in the inpatient block may have other diseases. So emergency vehicle parking is given adjacent to the inpatient block. Service rooms are given here and exit from the site is given here. Sensory walls are used to incorporate sensory experience in interior spaces. Sensory walls can range from green walls to kinetic mobile walls. Green walls are the mostly used. They make the mind of the patients calm and to accept the whole treatment procedure. Drawing walls are used in tactile and visual block to increase curiosity among patients and to express themselves. Hearing walls are used in auditory block. The left section of the ear modules emit different frequency sound while the right section emits natural occurring sounds. Kinetic walls creates a playable environment for both children and adults which will enhance their mind and make them ready for treatment. It is also used in visual perspectives. Mirror walls create perspective alteration and confusion among patients which make them to think more precisely. Synthetic skins are used in touch and tactile block in which each skins have different properties like elasticity, temperature, vibration, etc. In taste walls, some paper strips containing different taste elements are attached to the wall. Those are made by combining edible chemicals. In visual walls, some depressions are made in which small video screens are attached where patients can experience different perspective alterations. In smelling walls, different perfumes or other odors are kept in bowls attached to the wall. Moving to the individual plan, this is the administration and common treatment area. The block is zoned at level 23, same as main entrance. A reception and a waiting lounge is given in the ground floor. And a 2-meter ramp with 1:12 ratio is given to the common treatment block located at level 24. The core portion of the reception lobby has screens attached in different angles to cover all seating area, which shows the treatment procedures and more about the therapy centers and spaces. This sketch shows the interior of the reception lobby. The center circular room in the common treatment area is where all senses are tested and valued. The second sketch shows what happens in common treatment block. The center green blocks actually moves forward and backward, altering perspective of each blocks, which is used to test visual sense. Other four walls are sense-related sensory walls at both sides of the visual block. This is the detailed section of the admin block. Panel details are also shown, which is designed from the case study inference. This is the detailed section explained with case studies. This is the 3D visualization of admin block. Patients have to experience a change from the daily context when entering the therapy center. This enhances their mental positivity, which is needed for the treatment procedure. The form also defines the microclimate of the region. Skylights are tilted to the northern and eastern parts to maximize amount of reflected lights. As this Therapy Center is first of its kind. This curvilinear structures will enhance its value and importance. Audio block is located at level 24. A 1:12 ratio ramp is given as access. One is the reception area and it leads to a forest room where patients experience different frequency of natural sounds. They are valued in number 3, which is a consulting rooms. Number 4 is the sensory hearing wall. 5 and 6 are the audio galleries in which patients can experience rare to forgotten sounds and can mix different sounds musical instruments. 7 is the resonating room. Circular room with almost same height ratio is used as resonating room. It is designed with an acoustical resonating property. 8 is the core of hearing block where some indoor installations are placed. This is the inner core space. The installation deck has musical instruments placed in it, and when played, the reflector sculpture reflects the sounds to the seating area where patients can experience detailed sound waves. These are the details of outdoor installations covered by kinetic structures. About 10 structures are placed adjacent to the hearing block. Structures are 3 meter in height, length and breadth. The plan and 2 elevations are shown in the figure. This is the 3D visualization of audio block. Kinetic structures are arranged adjacent to it. Moving to the visual and tactile block, they are connected and zoned at the topmost part of the site. Visual treatment is based on 3 main points: perspective alteration, light and shadow play, and fine detailing of scenes. One is the reception lobby which leads to the visual and tactile corridors. This is the interior sketch of visual and tactile block reception. Number 2 is the tactile corridor which is named as sculpture past. Small sculptures are hanged down from steel rods attached at the roof which emits different levels of vibrations. The minimum and maximum value of vibration one can experience is measured. And number 3 is the visual corridor which is named as mirror room. Mirror pieces are attached in different angles both in walls and roof. They alter images and perspectives and improves the perceiveness of patients. It is used for the first point of visual treatment. 4 is the core of visual and tactile block. The third point of visual stimulation, which is the fine detailing of scenes, is given inside the core. As it is located at the highest point, which is at level 26, all altered levels of the whole site is captured by the core and shown inside the structure. Patients can experience the micro details of these levels inside the core. 7 is the VR room in which light and shadow play is arranged. And 8 is the pottery workshop related to tactile stimulation which make the patients to improve their working with hands. 8 is the sensory tactile wall. Synthetic skins are used which have different properties like vibration, elasticity, temperature, etc. This is the schematic section of visual and tactile block. The 3D visualization of visual and tactile block is shown in the figure. Skylight openings are tilted to the north. The smell and taste block is located south of visual and taste. Touch. Building is placed in level 22. Entry is given through a 1:12 ratio ramp. 1 is the reception of smell and taste. 2 and 3 are washrooms and 4 is the odor gallery. Different rare perfumes and odors are placed in different bowls which patients can experience a variety of olfactory stimulation. 6 is the gardening workshop for the herbal garden marked in tall. 11 is the amphitheater. Number 5 inside the block is the bowl gallery. In bowl gallery, herbs with low odors are placed in a bowl and cultivated, which patients can experience their rare odor. The 3D visualization of smell and taste block is shown in the figure. The seating area of the taste block is situated adjacent to the building. This is the other treatment block having motor sensors like balance, behavior, etc. There are 4 other small treatments for them, including occupational therapy, play therapy, physical therapy, and cognitive behavioral therapy. 2 treatments are given in the ground floor. Yoga therapy is given in the extended balcony of first floor, together with balance 2 therapy rooms. Cafeteria block has indoor, outdoor, and semi-open seating area classified for patients, staff, and doctors. The shared dining is given between cafeteria and treatment block. It is covered with a dome-shaped structure. This is a 3D visualization of treatment block. It is zoned adjacent to the admin block as the treatment doesn't include much coordination with sensory park. Moving to the inpatient block, It is located on the northeast part, which has residential area as nearby context, and it has less impact to the site. 1 is the entrance, 2 is the reception lobby, and 3 are the service rooms. And a food serving area is located on the ground floor, which is depicted as 10. The serving pantry is noted by number 8. Food will be served from the cafeteria by service vehicles. This is the first floor. One part of the first floor is patient rooms, and the second part is designed with a sensory gym and common areas. The top floor is full of patient rooms and one common gathering area. There is a total of 55 rooms designed with a floor height of 4. This is the 3D visualization of inpatient block. The inpatient rooms are zoned above the first floor so that the sea view is possible. This is the core area of the site, including central gathering spot and water arena. A display area and some water dancing area are shown inside it. In the case of gathering spot, the central portion is designed with play equipments for children, where the strips surrounding it are seating areas. The water body is given in 2 layers. The first layer acts as a deck space. 2 layers of seating space is given with 1 layer of green. The play area is covered with a tensile structure. This figure shows the representation of play area. Plan and elevation of the tensile structures are also given. This is the view from treatment block to the gathering area. The access pathway, seating space, and the tensile structure are visible from the view. An aerial view of gathering area with the herbal garden of olfactory block are shown in this image. And in this, the shared dining area covered in dome structure and the outdoor seating of cafeteria are shown. Thank you.